On a freezing Warsaw night in 1942, a young Polish social worker dug a hole beneath an apple tree and buried the names of children who, by all logic, should never have survived. Those names should have vanished. Those children should have been lost to time. But one woman refused to let a genocide decide their fate. This is the story of Irena Sendler, the woman who rescued a generation by hiding their future in jars. Warsaw, 1940. After the Nazi occupation of Poland, the Germans create one of the most brutal experiments in human confinement, the Warsaw Ghetto, a cramped square of misery sealed by brick walls, barbed wire, and fear. Nearly 500,000 Jews are forced inside. Families, scholars, shopkeepers, newborn babies, all compressed into a world of starvation and disease. The Nazis call it resettlement. But the people trapped behind those walls know the truth. And so did Irena. A 29-year-old social worker with calm eyes and an unshakable sense of right and wrong, she saw what many refused to see. The ghetto wasn't a temporary prison. It was a slow death sentence. But history often forgets something crucial. Irena Sendler didn't start as a hero. She started as a witness, a woman who simply walked through the ghetto gates with a stack of official papers and walked out with her conscience on fire. By the winter of 1941, rumors spread like shadows across Warsaw. People whispered of camps, trains leaving the Umschlagplatz, entire families disappearing overnight. Irena knew what would come next, and so did the Jewish mothers who met her in darkened doorways, whispering the most painful question a parent can ever ask. If I give you my child, can you promise they will live? She couldn't promise. No one could. But she also couldn't walk away. To fight a machine built on fear, Irena needed an army built on courage. She founded in Żegota the Polish Council to Aid Jews, a clandestine network of priests, nurses, couriers, counterfeiters, and everyday citizens risking execution for even speaking to a Jew. Irena became the head of its child rescue section. Her mission? Smuggle children out of the ghetto, forge new identities, and place them in orphanages, convents, and Polish families willing to risk everything. But every rescue required a plan more daring than the last. Forged birth certificates, secret signals, ambulances that drove in sick and drove out carrying dead children, children sedated and hidden under blankets. Even the tools became characters in this silent rebellion. A carpenter's box, a burlap sack, a toolbox with false compartments, a child's only chance, hidden in plain sight. Many mothers refused at first. They clung to their children, hoping for a miracle, hoping the war would end before the deportations began. But when the first trains departed for Treblinka, hope became a luxury few could afford. So, in kitchens lit by candles, in stairwells where footsteps echoed like warnings, mothers made the heaviest decision of their lives. A quiet goodbye, a final kiss, a child handed over to a stranger with a gentle voice and a forged name. Irena carried more than children. She carried the last hope of families who would never meet again. Every child rescued needed a future, but without their true identity, their future would be stolen twice. So Irena devised a system. At night, under curfew, she would write the child's real name, their new Polish alias, the location of the family or convent sheltering them. She folded the papers carefully and placed them inside small glass jars. One by one, the jars disappeared beneath the dirt of a quiet garden. Hidden, silent, waiting for the war to end, waiting to return children to their lost identities. A garden of names, planted against genocide. On October 20th, 1943, the Gestapo came for her. A betrayal inside Żegota had revealed her identity. Her home was ransacked. She was dragged to Pawiak prison, a place where hope rarely left alive. Interrogation began immediately. Beatings, broken bones, questions delivered with fists and boots. Where are the children? Who are your helpers? Where are the lists? The Nazis believed everyone broke eventually, but they never met Irena. She gave them nothing. Her silence was forged in the promise she made to every mother she met. Your child will live. They sentenced her to death. The date was set, the firing squad prepared, and then a miracle crafted by human hands. Żegota bribed the executioner. Before the rifle fire shattered the night, Irena was quietly taken aside, given a forged death certificate, and left on a roadside, alive, bruised, and now more dangerous than ever. On the Gestapo list, she was officially dead. In reality, she returned to the city and continued the rescue operations. By the time the war ended, the Warsaw Ghetto was gone. Over 300,000 Jews had been murdered at Treblinka. Another 92,000 starved or fell to disease. Entire families vanished into silence. But when Irena returned to the garden and unearthed the jars, she found the world still had something left to save. 2,500 children, each name a life saved from the edge of history. Reuniting them with surviving relatives was painful and often heartbreaking. Most had no one left. Parents who thought sending their child away would save the family never came home. But the children lived. They grew up, had families of their own, and carried silent gratitude for a woman they often never remembered. Irena Sendler never considered herself a hero. She said, "I could have done more, and this regret will follow me till the end of my days." But history sees her differently. To the world, she is a guardian of life, a rebel against silence, a woman who fought a genocide not with weapons but with paper, courage, and a pair of buried jars. In the end, history remembers many villains, but it survives because of a few quiet heroes. Irena Sendler didn't stop a war. She didn't command armies. She didn't carry a gun. But she did something harder. She looked at a world collapsing into hatred and chose to save the future hidden inside a child's name. Today, when we speak of courage, we often think of battlefield victories. But sometimes, courage is a woman kneeling in the dark, burying a jar under a tree, whispering a prayer that someday someone will dig it back up. History forgets the noise, but it never forgets the hands that held on to hope. And if you want to uncover more untold stories of quiet heroes, forgotten battles, and the moments that shaped our world, subscribe to the Time Navigator, because history deserves to be remembered, and so do the ones who shaped it.